All right, hello everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about a very interesting movie, which it's called Maya Meem Saab, directed by Ketan Mehta. This was quite the movie. It's very unexpected where I watch a Bollywood movie particularly, and I'm like, they did this all the way back then, and this I would literally classify this as how there's always a commercial and art film. Like this is very much a art film because I don't know if this movie did well in the box office, and considering it released in like 1993, I don't think people watched it and they were like, wow. I'm pretty sure people were just like, what the fuck is this? You know? Now, for honestly, being honest, the movie isn't that good, unfortunately. I like what the movie's trying to do. I like how airy and mysterious it is. I like how dreamlike the whole movie is. Now, this is not a surrealist film, don't get it wrong. Surrealist films are completely different, and if you've been watching the channel, you'd know I don't gel well with those kind of films. But Maya Memsab is a pretty straightforward film. It's not something which involves too many open-ended questions or something which involves a lot of thinking. It's pretty cutthroat start to end. It does alternate between times, but it's like basic movie stuff. It's nothing you have to break your brain for. But I think where I really feel like Maya Meem Saab is a decent movie is, for one, what it was able to do at the time it was released in. And I don't know if any other Bollywood movies were doing this at the time. Was this the first, or was this like just a follow up of like a onset of these kind of films? So I'm not sure of that. And two, I think it's carried by just how mysterious and dreamlike the whole movie is. I think, okay, let's just talk about the cast, right? Like Deepa Sahi plays Maya. Now, Maya is a very flawed character. Maya is a character you don't root for at any point in this film. Like, things, just to give it in a non spoiler way, Maya is just a dumb woman, and things go very bad for her because she just messes her own life up in a very bad way, right? Things just keep going worse and worse for Maya, and yeah, it's just one of those characters where I'm like, yeah, well, this is what you expected. This is what I expected it to happen. Like, I think I would be more upset if Maya was the way she was in the movie and the repercussions were not so severe. And also, this is based on a book, I'm pretty sure, like a French novel, which they reference in the movie, which I thought was funny. But yeah, I think Maya's character is not one where you're rooting for her, essentially. She's basically a character where you're like, well, your downfall was imminent. And if you really think about it, I think the one interesting thing I also found in Maya Meem Sab is that there's not really any character where there's not a character you root for at all. So I'm just gonna go through. Deepa Sahi plays Maya, which I think great. I think she's first of all a very pretty woman. She has a lovely smile. Farouk Sheikh plays her husband, Dr. Charu Das. Now, I would at least towards the start of the film, I'm like, oh, Charu Das is gonna be like this only character who's actually nice. But then you start to see that, man, everyone is so flawed, and I think that's what makes this movie, in my opinion, decent. Like, if I had to give it a rating, I'm giving it a 3 out of 5 because it's not a good movie, but it's also not a bad movie. I think it's a mid movie, and I think what works is that, or what intrigued me was that no character really is out of the zone of, man, you're just like a shitty person. Like, the husband doesn't stand up for his wife when the mother is just like forcing the wife to like be restricted and be a certain way, which I wish I could say was a thing of the past in the 90s, but it's very much prevalent today, you know. So the husband is just like, and it's very awkward. He's just like, oh, my mom and my wife are like fighting. I'm just gonna read the paper, you know. And up until that point, I was feeling bad for him because I was like, damn, like he's just a honest man. He's just living life, and he's gotten married to this drama queen, but like he doesn't stand up for her. And I'm like, oh, like if that wasn't enough of a reason why she's becoming distant from him, right? Maya herself is obviously a very flawed character throughout. Like, she cheats on her husband with two different men, which is a whole other thing. Then the men she cheats with are also not great people. Like, I believe Raj Babbar plays one of them, and he is just someone he's after lust, basically. He just wants to get his wang wet. And then you have Shah Rukh Khan, who plays the younger guy. And Shah Rukh Khan, very funny to see Shah Rukh in this, but I like Shah Rukh's performance in this. I like I don't know if it's a trend, but just when Shah Rukh's not on the spotlight, when he's not the main character, he just really does well. Very fun character, someone who's very meek and then comes back and he's just like, ooh, he's like having a relationship with like this older woman and he's super excited. He's very toxic to her. There's a scene where they both start choking each other out. No joke. They start choking each other out in the middle of the street or something. So yeah, very toxic with Shah Rukh Khan. But see, that's the thing. There's no character where you really root for. Every character is very flawed and very like, man, you're just not a likable person. All the major characters at least. And I think that works in the movie because Maya herself is not a very likable character, and that is with intention. Like it is not, and the movie doesn't try to justify things by being like, oh yeah, no, but she doesn't deserve this, or like no, like towards the end, it's very much everything comes crashing down because of her own actions, and these other consequences. Paresh Rawal is also a character who you just are like, oh my god, this slimy son of a bitch. But yeah, great acting by Paresh Rawal. So this movie has, I wouldn't say landmark performances. It has good performances. I like the concept. It's based on a established story, like a novel, whose name I'm not remembering right now, which is so stupid because they referenced it in the movie. But yeah, I think overall, where the movie falls back is, and I don't know if this is the case with the book, because I mean, maybe any of you who've read the book can tell me and have watched this movie, which would be two different requirements to check. But the story itself is not that interesting because all I'm watching is a woman spiral down the spiral of self destruction. And it's just like, okay, it's essentially a character study of a woman. And I'm just like, you got to make it more interesting for me because what we see in the movie just seems something that could probably be happening in someone's lives. And for me, it's like, that's fine. It's not done particularly well where it hits an emotional nerve, or it's not done dramatic enough where I'm like, oh my God, because like, it doesn't make it dramatic enough for it to be filmy. Like, yeah, it's just like a very realistic art film. And you're just like, well, damn and I found myself personally to be not that invested into the characters because I was just like, man, none of these fuckers are worth investing your time into. So I think the movie does fall back on that regard. I do think the movie feels a bit dragged out as well. There's a bit of, yeah, I think a little bit of the start could have been maybe cut out a little. There's also apparently explicit scenes in this film, which I was not aware of because even though I watched it on Netflix, they cut it out. I watched it online. Yeah, I don't know if I'm pretty sure it wasn't released in the movie and why it was cut out because there's a whole titty. Just letting you guys know. But yeah, you won't find that in the movie since it was obviously cut out, and considering it was in the 1990s, definitely not going to be there. But Maya Memes Up, it's an interesting film. I will not say this movie was bad, and I will not say it was great or good. But I will not forget this movie. It's a very fascinating film. I like watching films which linger in my head. And Maya Meem Sub is one of them. Also, great poster, by the way. I'm just looking at the poster right now. Wonderful. But anyway, that's going to be it from me. I'm very interested to know if anyone has watched this film because I would love to know your thoughts on it. Like, actually, I've never heard of this film until I watched it. And I would love to know, like, what did people think of this film? Did you find it boring? Did you find it really good? And yeah, I just love to know. I think it's a decent film. I don't think it's good. I don't think it's bad. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. And that's going to be it from me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you all later. Bye.